Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video, and you joined me going through an amazing sort of like, it's called Everyman experience. That's the company who host it at Brands Hatch. It basically was in a selection of quite cool supercars. Yeah, and I'm basically going to explain to you a little bit about the experience, show you some cool sort of clips as I'm kind of talking and going through this, and yeah, and giving my recommendation on it. So the cars that I got to drive just straight off the bat from this experience was an Ariel Atom, which was unbelievable, by the way, absolutely unbelievable. It was also a McLaren 570S, a Nissan GTR, and originally it was a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, which I was really looking forward to, but sadly it wasn't available on the day, so I switched that one out for a McLaren 720S, which I had extra laps for as well. Now I'll be putting up clips as I'm kind of talking, but essentially Brands Hatch, sort of like just west of London, just outside. Really amazing place, a track I'd never been to before. I'd only ever sort of played it on Forza Motorsport, so it was yeah, it was a big change for me to actually sort of do it on circuit. I've done track experiences in the past, but you know, nothing like this. So arrived at Brands Hatch, and you basically go under this, yeah, you get to see a little bit of the track. You get to go into this cool tunnel to then basically take to the track. You have a load of forms and stuff to fill out. A lot of them are COVID related. A lot of them are like damage waiver forms, so basically you don't have to pay for the damage and all this kind of stuff, which I did all do. I went for everything. I went for the full package, so I got like media included, yeah, extra laps for one of the cars, an extra car, all this kind of stuff. For reference, I'll explain the price to you afterwards, and I'll also show like clips of the BMW, which I'm not too sure which BMW it is. I'm going to say it's an E92, but it's a V8 anyway, and it was in a manual, and I had a hot lap in that. So I'll show that in a separate clip sort of tomorrow, but if someone could let me know in the comments the exact name of that car, that'd be really, really helpful. If I can't find out for myself, I'll be putting up on the screen as I'm talking. So that was sort of like a little bit of a summary right there. So the first car I got to drive for my, basically it's about 3 laps you get each, and I got 3 laps round in the 570S. So looked really, really cool. Had sort of like dihedral doors and stuff, but I'd never been around Brands Hatch before, so it was very much more like a warm-up lap. It wasn't particularly pushing it hard, but it was great to be inside, you know, a supercar just to try it out. Never been in a McLaren. I'd sat in them at like sort of like events and stuff, but I'd never driven one. Really, really cool, really great. Straight after that, I got to drive the Nissan GTR. Now this car really surprised me because they basically, at the event, they make you have all the traction aids on, you have your instructor there, your instructor tells you exactly what to do, so change gear, don't overtake here, do this. They're basically nannying you through it, which kind of diluted the experience a bit, because it meant you couldn't like rev it to the max, hear the max of the noise, and yeah, that was a bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is, and this is one of the reasons actually why I kind of prefer the Porsche experiences that I normally do. So that was that. But nonetheless, it gave me a flavour of the track, and the first thing you notice is the compression on the on one of the first corners. You have no idea what it's like until you actually do it. It feels like a roller coaster. It feels more than a roller coaster. It feels surreal, and the track's so wide. Nothing like Forza Motorsport. Nothing like that in the slightest. Which was the biggest thing. But then when I looked back on camera, which I've just seen, the footage, I did this on the 15th of September, by the way, and I'm filming this on the 15th of September as well. Yeah, it looks like it does on the game, but when you're actually sitting there, it's so much wider. You know, loads of weird stuff going on, loads of other cars going around, Ferraris, Lamborghini Aventadors, stuff like that, all kind of doing the same thing. The only thing that was annoying is on the Brands Hatch, the home straight, they sort of put like little obstacle cones in, which sort of added to it, but it meant you couldn't get up to the max speed, because that was one of the craziest straights. So that was that. I still enjoyed it, and I still found it really, really good. So Nissan GTR, as I was kind of saying, because it had all the traction aids on, it would proper veer the car like one way or the other, and when you put your foot flat down, It would kill the power. It didn't like the compression, so it felt you were going to have a crash. And to be honest, that whole car specifically, it just felt like a computer on wheels. Capable, but so detached from the driver. It's unbelievable. So I didn't particularly enjoy that. and that was just my experience. I then drove the McLaren 720S. And this is when it gets interesting. I had extra laps in that car. The car looked stunning. The only thing that put me off, and I'll probably put up a clip at some point where I've got the full lap of it, and that, because it's more of a premium car, you get premium camera footage, whereas the other ones were sort of in like a little bit of flaky footage, which I'll still probably put up. The instructor was a bit, he'd hold the wheel quite a lot, which was just lame. I didn't like that. I wasn't doing anything wrong, and he was a bit shouty as well, and he was a bit anxious, which made a little bit of the experience a bit crap. But the 720S, oh my god, is it capable. Every corner is just ridiculous. So if you do the event, I'd recommend trying the 720S over the Aventador, because for me the Aventador is more about the theatre. It's not necessarily a track car, to a point. So that's why I went with the 720S. Nonetheless, it was good fun, and yeah, stupidly fast. I then drove my favourite car, which funny enough had the best instructor as well, which I found, which was the Ariel Atom. You've got to wear a full helmet and a full face helmet, as opposed to the other cars where you just have to wear just an open faced helmet. He was great. It's a 6-speed manual. You're proper it was just so much fun. I hope the footage came out well for it, and I'll show that as well. Another car I'd strongly recommend. So that was great fun. Really enjoyed that. Really got a feel for it. Really made the experience actually that part. And it was only 3 laps, but hey, it was good fun. Final one was just 1 lap in that fast BMW M3 V8. They showed you how it's done really. That was cool. Let me know what type of BMW that was, because I want to know. Yeah, manual as well. Missed the manuals. My favourite car there was the Ariel Atom. For me, it didn't matter what other car was there, the McLaren or whatever. The Ariel Atom was just so much quicker because it was so much lighter. 300 horsepower, but because it just weighed nothing, it didn't really matter. It just absolutely flew. So that was really great, and I was just like blown away. And the fast lap was great as well, even though it was quite short. So that's my kind of little summary of the event. Now I will be putting up clips of my track experience. I do track day stuff as well on this channel, so I wanted to kind of share that with you and share this one with you. So I hope you lot enjoy it. I would recommend it, but I'd only recommend doing it once at each specific track. They do all sorts of tracks, but yeah, just do it at Brands Hatch. I think the staff there are really friendly. They're really nice. A little bit of waiting around sometimes between the cars. I think they got caught out a little bit. We've had a few, just a few issues on like the M25 with protesters and stuff, which kind of slowed things down, but it was not too bad. The whole experience started for me at about 1:30. By the time I completed all the forms and stuff and did like a driver, like instructor thing, sort of like 2 o'clock, and then my first car was like 2:15, and I was done by 4:30. So it's good, like half a day. Give yourself half a day basically to do it. And yeah, it was good fun. I paid £260 for this. It was originally actually a gift given to me by work about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. A work that I've now don't work for because I was leaving. It was a leaving gift. And yeah, and I basically added on extras. So like extra laps as opposed to the 3 laps, because it does go quite quick. So I got the McLaren, I got 6 laps. Media footage inside, so you got the cameras. Mainly I did that for you guys, just to see a bit of the clips. I don't necessarily think it's necessary, particularly with the camera footage, which doesn't look that good. I think for the premium cars it's good, but otherwise it's not. And that was basically my experience in a nutshell, really. I'll show those clips in a separate video as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a good little track experience. I had good fun. Yeah, it certainly made me think a lot more about some of the special cars that are out there. And yeah, I'd recommend doing the event. You know, this isn't sponsored or anything. This is just my personal YouTube channel. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. Drop a comment if you've been there before. I think other people find it useful as well. And yeah, for sure, I will see you again next time. Cheers, guys.